Good morning, class. Today we are going to be learning about different rock types and the rock cycle. So, can anyone tell me what they know about rocks? What different kinds of things have you observed about rocks, including shape, texture, or color? Does anyone have a favorite type of rock that they can tell me about? The first type of rock that we're going to learn about is called sedimentary. These rocks are formed at the surface of the earth, mainly fused sediments that have collected together in a certain area. Examples of sedimentary rocks include mud, sand, gravel, and sandstone. And this picture is a picture of what a common sedimentary rock will look like. Does anyone know where you can find sedimentary rocks? Does anyone have any guesses? Well, the first place that you can find sedimentary rocks is in a mountain or a mountain range, or in certain types of rock formations. The second type of rock we're going to be looking at is called igneous. Igneous rocks are formed from melted rocks that have cooled and solidified. And examples of igneous rocks include magma, granite, and basalt. And this is a picture of a common type of igneous rock. And this is kind of what they look like as well. Now, does anyone know where we can find igneous rocks? Any guesses out there? Anyone have any ideas? Okay, well, the first type of igneous rock that you can find is lava. And igneous rocks are also commonly found in the Earth's crust. The third and last type of rock is metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are formed actually from deformed and recrystallized magma from the Earth's crust. Examples of metamorphic rocks include slate and quartzite. And this picture shows what a common metamorphic rock can look like in a mountainside or a common part of the Earth. Lastly, does anyone know where we can find metamorphic rocks? Any guesses from anyone? Well, we can find metamorphic rocks in magma and also in the Earth's crust. So as you can see, a lot of these rocks can be found within the Earth's crust. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the rock cycle. And as you can see, igneous rocks can be formed into sediment through weathering and erosion, and that sediment can be formed into sedimentary rock through compaction and cementation. And sedimentary rock, through heat and pressure, can be formed into metamorphic rock. And also, by melting metamorphic rock, you can turn it into magma, but you can also turn it back into sediment through weathering and erosion. But let's look at metamorphic rock melting into magma. Once it is in magma, you can either cool it and it will become igneous rock, or from igneous rock, you can melt the igneous rock and it will turn into magma. You can also add heat and pressure to igneous rock and it can turn into metamorphic rock. And also you can weather and erode igneous rock and it becomes sediment. So as you can see, it's kind of like a huge cycle. All of these rocks, through different processes, can be turned into each other. Now, you might be asking, well, what is weathering? Well, according to Wikipedia, weathering is the breaking down of rocks, soils, and minerals, as well as artificial materials through contact with the Earth's atmosphere, biota, and waters. Well, what is erosion? According to Wikipedia, erosion is the process by which material is removed from a region of the Earth's surface. It can occur by weathering and transport of solids in the natural environment and leads to the deposition of these materials elsewhere. It usually occurs due to transport by wind, water, or ice. Compaction. What is compaction? Well, again, according to Wikipedia, compaction, when we're referring to geology, or rocks in general, refers to the process by which a sediment progressively loses its porosity due to the effects of loading. As more sediment is deposited above the layer, the effect of the increased loading is to increase the particle-to-particle stresses, resulting in porosity reduction primarily through a more efficient packing of the particles. And lastly, cementation, according to Wikipedia, involves ions carried in groundwater chemically precipitating to form new crystalline material within sediment pores. This is how sediment becomes rock. The new pore-filling minerals form bridges between original sediment grains, thereby binding them together. So, sand becomes sandstone and gravel becomes conglomerate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, pick one fact or something interesting you learned about today during this presentation and write about it in your science journals. Just one paragraph, that's all it needs to be, nothing longer, and be prepared to hand this assignment in tomorrow. And that was a short presentation on the rock types and the rock cycle.